everyone, welcome back to the channel, and this video is from the Gold Money Asian Rapids Knockout, and this is the clash for third place between Magnus Carlsen with the white pieces and Ding Liren playing as black. Carlsen opens with e4, the standard king's pawn opening. Ding responds with e5, knight to f3, knight to c6, bishop to b5, and the Roy Lopez is on the board. Now we have a6, going for the Morphy's defence, and we have bishop to a4. So if the bishop gets attacked with bishop to b5, you can move it to bishop to b3, and you'll have a nice strong diagonal. Knight to f6, castles, and we're in the Columbus variation. Bishop to e7, which is the closed variation of the Morphy's defence. d3. And b5, so attacking the bishop moves to b3 and has its nice diagonal to itself. And the other bishop has another strong square diagonal, so they're both fully operational. d6, now the light square bishop is developed from black. And we have c3. Castles on the king side from black. And we have e4. Bishop to d7. And bishop to c2. Rook to e8, and we have rook to e1. So now both the rooks are on the e file. And h6. Knight b to d2. And we have bishop to f8. h3 from Magnus. And we have rook to b8. b4, pushing forwards. And the knight retreats to e7. A captures on b5. A takes on b5. And d4. Knight to g6, so now both the knights are on the side of the board. And we have knight to b3, so now the knights are disconnected from white. And we have rook to a8. So what's going on here is Ding is expecting to trade off a pair of rooks, and the knight will capture. Most likely you're going to move the position of this bishop somewhere along this diagonal because you want the queen to retake. You don't want your knight to retake this rook if it's captured because you lose your nice position of the knight. So you're going to move this bishop, of course, so then the queen can capture and you can shift up the board along with a connected rook. Bishop to d2. Captures, and we have queen to c8. So the saying in this position is not to capture anything if you don't obtain anything from it. So in this position when Ding captured, he just captured for taking material off the board. So we have king to h2, knight to h5, and we have bishop to d3. Knight h to f4, the h knight moves to the f4 square, and we have bishop to f1 from Carlsen. c6 from Ding. And we have d captured on e5. D captures on e5, and bishop to e3. Bishop to e6, and we have knight to c5. Bishop captures on c5. E takes on c5, and we have f6, so improving the position of the kingside defence. And we have rook to d1. So now this rook is dominating this whole d file. The queen has its a file, and there's a nice connection between the rook and the queen. So this is very strong. And the light square bishop has its own diagonal. King to h7, and rook to d6. So this rook has lifted up the board onto the 6th rank. And we have f5. Maybe trading some pieces off now. Bishop captures on f4, e captures on f4, and knight to d4, so double attacking the bishop and the pawn and these other pawns as well. Knight to e5, and we have queen to b1. g6, and we have queen to c1. Maybe losing a bit of tempo by moving the queen from b1 to c1. Now Ding moves his bishop back to d7, and we have e captures on f5. Now, Ding actually sacrifices this f-pawn. Instead, he moves forward to g5. Queen to c2. And we have rook to g8. And we have queen to e4, so bringing the queen into the attack. So now this king looks very vulnerable, because these pawns have been pushed up the board. The queen and the rook are connected, but they can't really do much. Now we have queen to e8, bringing the queen into the attack. So trying to defend from these very strong pieces against the king. Knight to e6, so now the knight is brought into the attack. And the knight retreats to f7. Now, going back after the move, knight to f7, Ding didn't realise he brought himself into a trap. This now goes off into mate in 8 moves. So, f6 with check a discovery. King has to move to h8, which Ding played. And we have bishop to d3. And it was in this position that Ding Liren resigned the game, as he realised there was nothing more to be done. So there's a mate in 6 no matter what. If you play rook to g6, sacrificing the rook, you capture, you have to sacrifice the queen, and that's how you'll win. So otherwise it will be a mate in 1. So there's no way to escape this mate. Ding has lost in every way. So hopefully you've enjoyed this video. For the 3rd place clash between Carlsen and Ding, please like and subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video.